I'm Jamila Robinson with Missing Pieces Support Group, and today I'm here with Angela Kim, who is going to share her story with us. We are so thankful for her being a part of this series and being transparent with you so that others know what this is all about. Thanks for being a part of this, Angela.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, sure. So I'm going to ask you some questions prior to your pregnancy loss, and then you could tell us more about the day and what happened. So tell us about your immediate family prior to pregnancy loss. Who was it?
My immediate family was my husband at the time and my 7-year-old son. 6. Yes.
And how did you find out you were pregnant?
I felt weird. I felt different, and I was like, what is going on? Like, why am I happier all of a sudden? And
were you glowing or glistening?
Yeah. I was, because I was just like smiling, you know, like this thing on my face just kept showing up.
Yeah. Did you tell your family and loved ones about this pregnancy?
I did.
Like, how many people did you tell?
We told a lot of people.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was our first pregnancy was just happened, and then the second one was like, okay, we're into maybe 3-4 weeks already, so okay, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's
safe zone, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
What were the events leading up to you knowing that there was something wrong? You know how you said you felt some weird kind of way when you knew you were pregnant?
Yes.
How did you know that something went wrong?
Well, instead of being happy, I was irritable. Like, there was just something that was like deep inside of me that felt wrong, and I was angry. Like, I was just there's this deep anger that was just coming up, and I wasn't sure what it was. I felt something off, and that was
Did that prompt you to go to the doctor, or what happened?
It was about the time to go see the doctor anyways, so I just let it be until then, and I just felt like my body was strange. How did it puff up and then suddenly just went away?
Yeah.
So I went to the doctor just as usual. At the time, I wasn't alone. I was with my husband at the time, and he was there with me. I wasn't really sure what was going on. It was the checkup to hear our child's heartbeat.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. They came in, they told me, yeah, your blood results are not looking good. So that's when I found out. It was just like, I felt the change and shift in my body, and then it was one thing after another.
Gotcha. Did you hear the words, there's no heartbeat, in that conversation?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
My heart sank.
Yeah. And your husband?
He was just, I think, just there, like a shell. So I was just attempting to figure me out. I didn't really care anymore about anybody.
Yeah. It's like you, the noise behind you just kind of drowns everything out after you hear those words, right? It's hard to focus on anything else.
It's like something just zoomed in and silence. Everything else is silent.
How did you process the news? Like, what was your next move? Did you get up and just leave, or did you hear the doctor saying womp 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 womp?
I just sat there. I'm not remembering the sequence of events too much right now. It was more of, this is what's going to happen. It seems like your body's already starting to release, and so I actually had another appointment. By the time I came back, everything was already almost flushed out. So they gave me the medication to really clean everything out.
Oh, okay.
So it was just, I was able to rationalize and hear rational words. Anything beyond that was just, what, emotions?
Right.
There's no computing emotions at that time. I was just in shock.
Were you able to leave the doctor's office that day?
Yeah, my ex-husband drove me. Just thinking about it, I'm feeling that moment is, I just was existing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Were you able to process anything beyond that?
Beyond in the moment, or?
Yeah.
Not really, besides just doing ABC, black and white. You have to list it down for me. If it's not on a list, I wasn't able. Yeah, it just doesn't happen. So, yeah.
When did you realize you needed help processing your loss?
I knew, I felt that I needed help processing just because it was just, mental health is part of my regimen, my self-care.
Yes.
So I constantly want to take care of myself. So it was just getting myself to have the energy to make the appointment, to do all that.
Can you talk about that? Because it's very exhausting when you go through something like this, right?
Oh yeah, this is my passion. It was like at the time I wasn't able to even function. The things that I was able to do, remember, organize, like call people, be accountable, be responsible for things. Everything went out the door.
Yeah. And it takes over. It's overwhelming, right?
Yes. So it was just like, I knew I wanted to see my therapist. If my insurance had an issue at the time, or if I had an issue with the insurance, it was just, okay, until I have the energy to do that again. It was just until I have the energy. And I was just like, why am I so, I kept thinking in my head, why am I so lazy? What is wrong with me? Not thinking that my body wasn't working with me.
Right.
And everybody was around me was just expecting me to be the same way, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
Until now, they still expect me to be the same way, and I still have challenging times every single month or leading up to. It's just, my body is like, okay, it's about to happen again. You're about to get on your period. It's a traumatic, and it's traumatizing. So it's like, even though I have all the background, the study, the education, when it happens to you, it's totally crippling.
Yeah.
Over 3 years later, that's still something I'm struggling with. It's such a passion of mine, and it's a struggle of mine, because I was like, I've been doing all this mental health work. Why? Why is it so challenging for me to do these things? And eventually it dawned on me that I was going through traumatic experiences every month.
Yeah.
It didn't even click to me, register for a good while, even with my education, my background, people around me. It was just, nobody knew what was going on. Like, the way that they looked at me was like I was making excuses to be lazy and to procrastinate. And I believed that about myself, and so it was just like, compounding one thing on top of the other. And because I would do physicals and everything came back normal. Except for like my cholesterol, one of those things, and I think that runs in the family. And they didn't, nothing was wrong. I'm not anemic or anything like that. And I was like, there's something wrong, because I felt like I was in my head. I guess my body would be so tired. In my head, I started thinking, am I dying? Is there something going on with me? I thought I was going crazy, because I was like, why do I feel so depleted? And like, this isn't me. I'm capable of these things, and my body's not responding to me. So it's just like I was separate from my body.
Yeah. That sounds frustrating. Like you weren't able to make all of the pieces
it's like
move.
I had Pinocchio strings, and I wasn't able to just be the puppet master of my own body.
Right. So how do you deal monthly?
It's self-care, honestly, scheduling things, getting organized, having everything just as structured as possible, so that way when time comes, I just follow the list, and that's all I do. And it'll come every month, and it's up to me to tell people and communicate with the people I love that, hey, it's happening. So
is that tough for you?
it is very tough to tell them every month, hey people, I'm about to get my period, so if I get snappy, then just know. Or if I don't remember, like, I'm really doing my best. It's not like I'm stupid, and at those times I tend to think that I'm slow or stupid, and it's beyond just the hormones at this point for me. It's psychological every month, and my body just gets exhausted because I'm still coming back to like equilibrium. And it was, I can go on and on. In the beginning, I was completely written off. I will say that. And I would just let them say, hey, brush me off. Eventually, it would just come in waves, and I would just start speaking, and I would share, and I was like, why did I do that? They're not receiving me. And eventually, the more and more I kept just letting it come out naturally when it wants to, people receive me. And so I let them know, hey, it's about that time of the month. It's very traumatic for me, so it can be challenging. And
so then, are you saying being transparent helped them understand?
Totally, being transparent and communicating effectively as well. Because when I was in the beginning, I just didn't even have the words. I was just like,
I was about to say, how do you communicate effectively with all this going on?
It was a lot of frustration and like hand gestures and like like that kind of stuff. I didn't have the words, and so they were just like, you're dramatic, and I was like, you know what, let me be dramatic. At least I'm letting it out.
Right.
And I'm not letting it poison me like you. And I was like
Let me roll it back a little bit.
Yes.
But being transparent in this process is helpful. I think it's the only way that society's going to know, mental health needs to be addressed when something like this happens. Like you said, no one could pinpoint or figure out that you were undergoing trauma. And that is exactly what you felt, what you still feel every month.
Yes.
So, if there was one piece of advice you would like to share with a woman or a family who has just undergone a loss like this, what would it be?
allow us in, like allow us to nurture you and support you.
That's big, because you know, you don't even know, you don't have the words like you said, you don't know who it's safe to talk to. But it's so helpful once you do start talking about it. I think that's great advice. Did you try to conceive again?
The thought came into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
My husband at the time was just, it wasn't really, like it was just, I was scared, honestly.
Yeah. Talk through that, because a lot of women are scared to do it. Try that again.
For a little bit, I was also scared to have sex.
Oh.
Because I was like, what if I get pregnant? And then what if this happens again? And what if this is... It was just lots of thoughts that went into my mind.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned husband at the time. Did this impact your relationship?
Oh, yes. It did a lot. It was right after. It was just right when we found out at the doctor's office. That's when it impacted. And then it was like the switch. He was no longer engaged.
You just wasn't interested in talking or doing life together?
Disinterested. Okay, maybe this wasn't meant to be. And at that time, I was just like, I didn't even want to know or hear if it was meant to be or not. I just wanted comfort and support.
Right.
Somebody to just listen to me.
Yeah.
Like, if I had to scream and wail in a weird sound, just be with
there.
me. Mm-hmm. It wasn't accepted.
Well, how has this experience changed your life and in general?
The perspective and the way that it's changed my life is the things that I once took for granted about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful every time I get the glimpses of what I'm capable of doing and able to accomplish again.
Yeah.
Because it's like little baby steps, and I think people who go through it really can be compassionate about this and have compassion for the person going through it. Because it's, oh my goodness.
It's hard to describe to someone what you're going through who hasn't been through it, right?
It is very, because sometimes you don't even have the words. It's just like you can just say it or have hand gestures, and all it is, I just want somebody looking at me and following me and nodding with me, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. Because you know, on the other side of that nod, there's true understanding. They've been through all the emotional pieces that you have. Well, not always all, but there's some commonality in that type of loss.
It's just take it one day at a time, one moment at a time.
That's great advice.
Like when you have the energy, then just put things in place so that when you don't have the energy, you can just follow the
plan.
Follow the list.
Yeah.
And sometimes when the list, it's just learning how to navigate with yourself again, and it's learning to crawl and walk and then be able to run. Like everybody's expecting you to be able to run when you're like, my muscles have been scrambled.
I got a leg cramp.
My muscles have been scrambled. Yeah.
Absolutely. Is there anything you would like to leave with our audience?
Leave with the audience. I'm unsure. Like, I think the thing that I'm just, it's like right here at the tip of my tongue of if help is there, just reach your hand out and say yes.
Yes.
Because that's, and then also the yes when the support is provided, it's like, show me the steps. What are you going to do to help me? And that's what I would say I'm super passionate about, is writing the steps for people and helping them process through it, because it is step 1, step 2, step 3. What are you feeling? What are your thoughts?
And like you said, a moment at a time, a day at a time. More of how's today, because even in today, you can lose how you feel in a moment.
Exactly, because the waves come and go. So just being able to reach out and have support that actually can almost read your mind.
Yeah, that's why it's helpful to be around people that go through this, because it is almost like mind reading. You see that dull look behind somebody's eyes, you know that they've gone through something that has impacted them in a way that they can't even respond physically or emote physically like they once did.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for taking your time to share your story, and being as transparent as you were. It's going to help so many women. It's going to help people that have not gone through this understand what it's like, especially that trauma piece, because it's not always present. Sometimes we put a shield on just to protect our hearts, because we don't need it stomped on anymore than it's already been trampled on. So again, thank you. Thank you for all of those things. And thank you for being a part of our Missing Pieces support group family.